I wish I never checked my phone that night. It was 2:17 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. My room was quiet, the kind of silence that makes your thoughts louder. I remember staring at the ceiling when my phone lit up beside me. A message from a number I didn't recognize. I almost ignored it. I usually do. But something about it made me open it. "I think you're my sister." I frowned. It didn't make any sense. I thought it was a prank, or maybe a wrong number. I was about to ignore it when another message came in. A photo. It was an old picture of a baby wrapped in a hospital blanket. I stared at it, confused at first. Then my chest tightened. On the baby's shoulder was a small, crescent-shaped birthmark, the same one I've had my whole life. My hand started to shake as I typed back, "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "I've been looking for you. Your parents aren't telling you the truth." I couldn't respond after that. I just sat there, staring at the message, reading it over and over again. "Your parents aren't telling you the truth." I didn't sleep that night. The next morning felt strange, like something had changed even though everything looked the same. I walked into the kitchen and saw my mom making tea like she always did. Everything felt normal. Too normal. I tried to sound casual, but my voice felt heavy. "Mom, was I adopted?" She froze. Not confused, not surprised, just completely still. Then she laughed, but it didn't sound real. "Where is this coming from?" she asked. I didn't answer. I just showed her the picture. I watched her face change, the smile disappeared, and her hands started to shake. She slowly sat down, like her legs couldn't hold her anymore. "You weren't supposed to find out like this," she said quietly. My heart started pounding. "Find out what?" I asked. She looked at me, tears already forming in her eyes. But before she could say anything, my dad walked in. He stopped the moment he saw us. His eyes moved from my mom to me, then to the phone in my hand. "Who told you?" he asked. Not "what is this?" Not "this isn't true." Just, "Who told you?" That was the moment I knew. This wasn't a joke. I told him everything. The message, the photo, all of it. The room went silent. My dad took a deep breath and sat down across from me. "You were never meant to know," he said. My chest tightened. "Know what?" I asked. My mom was crying now, quietly, like she had been holding it in for years. Then she said something that didn't make sense at first. "You weren't adopted, but you weren't exactly ours either." I stared at her, confused. What does that even mean? There was a long pause before my dad finally spoke. 25 years ago, there was a mistake. He told me about the hospital. 2 babies born on the same night, in the same ward. And somehow, they got switched. I shook my head, almost laughing, because it sounded impossible. But then, my dad stood up and went into his room. When he came back, he was holding a folder. Inside were documents, old letters, and a DNA test, proof. They had known, my whole life. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, my voice barely steady. My mom looked at me, tears running down her face. "Because we were afraid," she said. "Afraid that one day you'd leave us." I didn't know what to say. Everything I thought I knew about myself suddenly felt uncertain. A week later, I agreed to meet them. My biological family. I didn't know what I was expecting. I didn't even know what I wanted. When I saw them, it felt strange, like looking at people I had never met, but somehow recognized. The person who messaged me was there, and the moment I saw them, I knew they were telling the truth. We looked alike, same eyes, same smile, even the same birthmark. They hugged me like they had known me forever. But I just stood there, because as much as I wanted to feel something, it didn't feel like home. And that's the part no one talks about. The people who raised me, the ones who loved me, cared for me, protected me, they're still my family, even if they kept the truth from me. So now I'm stuck between 2 lives, 2 truths, 2 families, and I still don't know which one is really mine.